In today's video, I'm going to try to make Thanksgiving dinner by purchasing all items from the Dollar Tree, and I'm only spending $10. So the Dollar Tree had several different kinds of instant mashed potatoes. I think they had Hungry Jack, Idahoan, and maybe a Betty Crocker. I looked and they all had about the same ounces, so I just went ahead and went with the Idahoan, but if anybody knows which one is the best, definitely let me know. I was surprised to find these cheddar biscuits kind of hidden in the back behind this Swiss Miss hot chocolate. So if you're there and you can't find something, you might want to dig around a bit. They ended up having a lot of options for desserts. And then I came across these Hawaiian dinner rolls on an end cap, and they were fresh and soft. So I decided to put the cheddar biscuits back. I stood there for a long time looking inside my basket. I would put things in and then I would take them out and then I would count up how much I was spending, just trying to figure out, what was going to work best for my family. And this is what I ended up with. I was able to purchase all of the traditional Thanksgiving items, with the exception of the turkey. And for dessert, I picked up a triple berry muffin mix from the Dollar Tree. I'm a little worried this won't be enough food. The Dollar Tree had some fun Thanksgiving items. I purchased a tablecloth as well as these cute little leaf trays. When I went to Walmart, I picked up this plaid plastic-backed tablecloth. It was only $2.97 and I really loved it. The only problem is they didn't have a round tablecloth in stock, so I purchased a rectangular tablecloth, and I just cut it down to my size, which was nice because I had the added bonus of being able to use that extra material for another area in my house. And if you had a buffet or something like that, you could have used that where the buffet table was as well. I'm just trying to use whatever I have already on hand, and I do have these white plates, and I have some orange napkins that I use all the time, and I can't find my napkin ring, so I'm going to go ahead and use this twine and see how that works out. Just tie it in a little bow, just like that. I think it looks good. I think it looks cute. I actually tried it with a paper napkin as well, and I kind of thought it looked better even with the paper napkin because it was really stiff. But you can use either. I always remember that fork has 4 letters and left has 4 letters, and that's the only way I remember that the fork goes on the left. I hope the stuffing expands a lot, because otherwise I don't know how it's going to feed 4 people, and we all love stuffing. I feel like how you like your stuffing is a highly individual thing. All of my kids pretty much like it the way I like it because, well, they've never known anything different. But I like it to be a little bit crispy on top and then really moist underneath. This will be the first time I've ever added meat to the stuffing mix. I know that some people do. Some people have added turkey and ham, but this is the first time I've done it, so I'll be interested to see how this turns out. If you're going to add the meat in with the dressing, I would definitely suggest leaving it covered while you bake it so that the meat stays moist. And now I'm going to make sweet potatoes, and I make them the way my grandma made them. First, we empty all of the liquid out, and I always reserve this liquid in case I need to add some back in. And then we start by heating up the sweet potatoes. And I use a cast iron skillet for this, and I add butter and brown sugar, and then I just put them over low heat, and I let them candy. And like I said, sometimes I'll add some more syrup in if they get too dry. But in this case, I only had a small amount of sweet potatoes, and it ended up working out perfectly, so I didn't need to add the liquid back in. And then we're just going to let these cook low and slow for a while. Hopefully I chose well with these potatoes, but I guess we'll find out. So we're just going to add some water to a pan, bring that to a boil. Then we'll go ahead and add some butter. In this case, all I have on hand is this country crock. Add a pinch of salt, which as it turns out wasn't quite enough. And our sweet potatoes are finished. So we'll go ahead and put those in a bowl and cover those. So for the cranberry sauce, generally I slice it, but this year I thought it would be fun to use a melon baller and see if I can't create balls. These cranberry balls turned out to be the perfect size for serving. And yes, I did put it in the fridge to take a picture just to show you how pretty the color was. And it looks like I do need to get some lights for filming. Now we're going to make the classic green bean casserole. I'm hoping this one can's going to be enough. We're going to start with draining the green beans and filling in this small casserole dish that I have. Some people like to add in the mushroom soup directly to the green beans. I'm going to warm it up first in the saucepan and add a little water and pepper. And then I'll pour it over the green beans. Since I couldn't afford the crispy onions for the top of the green bean casserole, I thought I would try to make something crispy out of one of the rolls that I purchased. And I'm just going to go ahead and rip it into pieces, and then we're going to toast it in the toaster oven. And I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of garlic salt and onion powder. And I should have tossed it with the olive oil, but I forgot, and I had it on the pan already, so I just went ahead and sprinkled it with the olive oil. But that's fine, it actually turned out really good anyway. Baking it, here you see me putting it in the oven, baking it at a high heat for just a few minutes. This toaster oven works really well. It only takes a few minutes, and it ended up really crispy on top and added a nice contrast to the creaminess of the baked beans. So here is dinner on the table. And as you can see, it did make quite a bit of stuffing. We had plenty for 4 people. Fortunately, that little bag did swell up quite a bit with the water in it. And we had lots of mashed potatoes, plenty for everyone. Had lots of the rolls. The sweet potatoes, it doesn't look like there's a lot there, but actually they're obviously really sweet. So everybody just took a few, and I would say I probably ate the majority of them myself. And the green bean casserole was delicious as well. That was a hit. And I think 3 of us liked the cranberry sauce, so that was good as well. So I didn't think that I'd be able to feed everyone for $10, but actually this was just enough, and it was plenty. It was all of the traditional items that you have. I mean, obviously it would have been nice to have a turkey, but in reality, really not many of us like the turkey anyway, and it's more something we do for tradition's sake. Okay, I've got to come clean. I may have cheated just a little bit. I did spend an extra $2 at the Dollar Tree with these 2 ingredients to top my sweet potatoes. When I saw this marshmallow cream, I couldn't refuse. Normally, I melt marshmallows on top of my sweet potatoes with some chopped nuts, but when I saw this, I wanted to try it since I've never tried it. So I was really shocked to find these pecans there, actually, because nuts are really expensive. So I grabbed those as well. So I'm just going to try to chop these up just a little bit and sprinkle them on top of the sweet potatoes. And then I'm going to put them in the oven just for a short bit, just to brown the top. And guys, you have to try this. I'm telling you, I cannot believe I waited this long to try that marshmallow cream. And I know it looks from this angle like I had a ridiculous amount with the sweet potatoes, but I promise you, it was not too much. I'm making these triple berry muffins, and they couldn't be easier to make. Basically, you just pour in the batter, a little bit of water, and stir it up, and you're good to go. It does call for water or milk, but I can't taste any difference when I use water, so I always just use water with these mixes. And I'm using coconut oil spray because I don't have anything in the house. Otherwise, I probably would have used a butter palm spray or an olive oil spray. And then you just fill up the containers. Make 6 kind of small to medium sized muffins. And you actually really have to stretch to get the last one out. But they always turn out really good, and they make the house smell good when you're cooking them, so they're great with milk and hot butter. I served them in one of the little leaf trays. I thought they looked really cute in that. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my video, and thanks for watching. I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving. As always, if you like my content, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe.